Illicit Drug Forensics, Jeremy Massenberg and Tate Curtin.
Background information. Forensic drug testing is a lab specifically of fluids and other specimens for drug use. These labs are often used to find unknown powders, liquids, and pills that may elicit drugs. AIT is the leading forensic toxicology laboratory in the nation. It reports results based on confirmation of testing. Provides what is effectively a chemical fingerprint. Also, in the 1960s, during the Vietnam era, 27% of service members used illicit drugs.
Graphics. This is the process chemists use to determine the controlled substance. They use a number of steps and experiments to find the drug. The two main ways they drug test people are presumptive tests and confirmatory. Presumptives are less precise and indicate an illegal substance may be present with water. If they put the if they put the illegal substance in the bag and the water changes color, they know it's a drug. Different drugs change different colors. And confirmatory provides a positive identification of the substance. There is no question. It involves a ton of lab instruments and a lot of time.
Drug testing definitions. Chain of custody. Procedures beginning at the time of the collected for all the account for all the handling and storage of each specimen. Confirmatory test, a secondary laboratory procedure used to analyze a positive test result from a screening test. Cutoff level. In the urine at which specimens is considered positive. Licensed physicists who are qualified to interrupt and evaluate test results.
Drug testing process. These are the steps to a presumptive test. The first step, take off the top of the test tube. Second, insert the unknown substance and mix the substance with a special water with granules in it which help identify the drug. Then, once you have done that, compare the color of the tube to the different colors for drugs. So a color will indicate which substance it is. And then you have found what your illicit drug is.
Graphics. Illicit drugs are classified by category based on the way each drug affects the brain. It helps law enforcement understand better which drugs the person has taken based on their behavior.
How it relates to chemistry. Forensic drug chemistry is simply chemistry as it is applied to the identification of illegal substances within the chemical justice system. It examines the way atoms and molecules in matter interact and bond with each other. In forensic drug chemistry, analysts use scientific findings to help investigators pursue legal action against individuals suspected of a drug-related crime. All matter has a set of characteristics that are unique to the substance, and chemists use these characteristics to identify which substance it is. They use and mix many types of chemicals to make a drug test. They use different chemicals for different drugs, so the water turns a certain color if the drug is identified. For example, sulfuric acid is used in heroin drug tests. And if heroin is in the substance, the sulfuric acid will turn orange. They also use UV rays in the crystal patterns of drugs.
Career related to it. Forensic toxicologist. Toxicologist studies the isolation and analysis of drugs and the effect they have on the human body. There are different types of specialists, including the ones who just study drugs. Scientists test on body fluids and tissues to determine the drug. In investigating a crime, toxicologists will isolate and identify the substance that may contribute to the crime and must be ready to be used in court. To determine the drug they use highly sophisticated instruments all day. These scientists must go to school for 4 to 8 years to become a toxicologist and will make between $34,000 and $64,000.
Summary. Forensic drug testing is a lab specialty for urine, fluid, hair, and potentially other specimens for drugs of abuse. It is performed for non-medical purposes in law enforcement. These labs are often used to identify unknown powders, liquids, and pills that are illicit drugs. To analyze drugs and other unknown substances in forensic labs, there are two categories: presumption and confirmatory. It is performed for law enforcement and to catch criminals, and they use this to tell what substances it is, and they're issued by many people such as parole officers, police officers, judges, and parents sometimes. And those are our citations, and that's our project.